Welcome to Africanews. This year again, sport has been at the center of the continent's news. The African Cup of Nations in Cameroon at the beginning of the year to the World Cup in Qatar, which has just ended. The Lions of the continent have thrilled us. But we also experience emotions in athletics or tennis and in many other disciplines. A non-exhaustive dive into the art of 12 months of sporting exploits.
They had been waiting for this for so long. The Lions of Teranga finally won the African Cup of Nations. Led by Aliou Cissé and Sadio Mane, the Senegalese squad with the coveted trophy were treated to a heroic welcome in Dakar, a victory worthy of the world's hopes with the World Cup in Qatar at the end of the year. Five African countries were present for this first World Cup in the Arab world. 5 African nations that all won at least one match in the first round. Ghana ended up beating South Korea to the delight of their fans. Tunisia did not make it past the first round either, but the Carthage Eagles pulled off a prestigious victory over world champions France. It was a remarkable feat for the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, who after a fantastic comeback against Serbia, dominated the great Brazil thanks to their striker Abubakar Vincent. The African champions Senegal dominated their group before falling heavily to the formidable English side in the last 16. Without Sadio Mane, they did not repeat their 2002 performance. But the great moment of this World Cup will remain the Moroccan epic and its prestigious victories over the very best of Europe. The most beautiful performance in history for an African nation at the World Cup, a historic campaign that has enthused the continent, and much more. Away from football, Tunisia's Ons Jabeur wrote the most beautiful page of African tennis this year. She became the first player to have reached the final of a Grand Slam. Beaten at Wimbledon, Jabeur even repeated the feat a few weeks later at the US Open. The world's number 2 will now aim for a first major title in 2023. The marathon is traditionally the preserve of Kenyan runners, but this year they did even better, as Eliud Kipchoge and his compatriots won each of the 6 events of the World Tour: New York, Berlin, London, Boston, Chicago, and Tokyo, an unprecedented Grand Slam. Basketball became more and more important on the continent, thanks in particular to its NBA champions. Cameroonian Joel Embiid and Nigerian Giannis Antetokounmpo once again competed for the title of MVP of the season, multiplying their stratospheric performances. The NBA is rubbing off on the continent with the success of the second edition of the BAL, the Basketball Africa League, which was played between Dakar, Cairo, and Kigali. South Africa hosted the Rugby Sevens World Cup in September, a first for the continent, which had earlier organized the first CAN of the discipline in Uganda. A real popular success. Finally, we leave you with some beautiful images in the heart of the Sahara, the Africa Eco Race, a rally reminiscent of the mythical Paris-Dakar, but much more ecologically sensitive.